Oh, it's...
Huh?
He's...
Our condolences for your...
Does he...
He does. While still alive, he is a...
No shit, Marlon. What's gonna happen to the Hardy Boys? No, that wouldn't be funny. Even if we weren't surrounded by the ghosts of our fallen friends. What's gonna happen to the... No, man. I don't know. I guess the Union will still be policing the neighborhood, but... Who's... Me? No, man. I'm not a leader. You know, Titus only recruited...
If any of them had leadership capacity beside Titus, it's him. Keep encouraging him.
What? Fuck no. If I'd stay, we'd keep the name to honor Titus. Man, you have no idea how this works, do you? But yes, if I don't stick...
He's not a drinker.
Yeah, man. You know, you got this. You got this.
I haven't got shit.
This is not completely ludicrous. Him and Titus were the only detectives of the bunch. Titus more, but Eugene at least knew how to think along.
Damn son. God said she took off. Yeah, you, both of you.
Let's catch.
I will.
A sharp... The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. The lieutenant...
Looks like it.
Everyone says you start cool, just don't Kuno the...
Feels good for some reason.
Watch out, who knows?
The pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in. I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to...
Don't be traumatized.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenaries.
The lieutenant leans in to listen. Note.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Elis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 20... He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the... Then the armor followed him to Semenine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail...
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
A name. This is very good. Ellis Corton.
This means something to him, to know that name. Like, sometimes police work.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? 57's hope.
In the cabin, you see a set.
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive? Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but I heard it was quite the... So what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local union muscle were behind it all. I'd reckon the case is closed, even if it kind of turned into a shit show. Hey, that's just what I heard. Old wives' tale. So, good luck with that, my man. Ain't easy being you, but hey, you're still breathing, right? Okay.
Is it wise to shit? Telling him is that the lieutenant throws you. What are you doing?
Oof. Good on her. And good on you, too. Better focus your efforts on the bad guys. And she didn't do it, believe me. If it's something bad, then she didn't do it. Didn't know her for long, but I know people.
He's relieved.
All right. That's enough sharing details about the investigation for one day.
Stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Yet you live. It calls back to an older era where this was commonplace. Hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or out. No, man. Not today.
He says it matter-of-factly, like it's...
Time will tell. I'll tell Everard you dropped by. I'm sure he'll be glad. I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killers turn up. Then I'll run. And live. I'm sure I'll be luckier than you, friend. Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel.
Officer, care to play a game with the... Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the prick is gone. I can barely believe it. Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Oh, he would have liked that. Violent lives ending violently. That's how he wanted to go. Sadly, his hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but...
Did he feel like he has to prove he can still pull?
Yes, he was about to head home. 'Cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing... Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it. No, René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would...
He has doubts, but right now, he just wants to move on and not think about...
I repeat, an absolute cunt. Even his old army buddies, the only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. And she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then we've hated each other our entire lives. Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at...
Yes, we are both very sorry.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone, I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
Officer.
You're not. She sounds almost disappointed.
Look at you. You can bear... Doesn't... What happened?
There was an exchange of fire.
That's nothing to brag about.
It's not serious. He'll be okay.
Of course. That won't be a problem. It's when... If you
Of course.
Aye. See, that makes me not want to lend you my skiff. On a boat, rocking leads to capsizing. That there is an absolutely 100% rock-free... I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with ether, will you? Don't...
That's cool. You boasting your bacterial infection like that. Hasn't been there herself. Who? This must...
The kids sometimes go there too. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do. Well?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Please be conservative with...
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks...
And that I am. That's, nothing. It's just a seafood and some plant. And we make a fire. We make... Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
I don't know what these are. They're lights. The fire guy.
They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. He doesn't like yes. I don't know.
Did you mean there are electric?
Yes. No, he doesn't live there. No, he lives there. Been there twice. He doesn't live there. He isn't there, so...
Anything else?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there. Our father, don't say that, he didn't. I don't know. Doesn't even have anything to do with this, you. Father is...
The two things are unconnected. Your question didn't make sense.
There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
A skip. Once you... Have you... Remember what the net picker said? It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
What? Fine. Let's blast SAD.
SAD FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs.
Want to be free.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. Let's go. The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe?
As a defensive measure, lock it off.
From enemies. Enemies.
Dry grass, the flock on the is like a silent, the far away, a low hum. Air flows out cold Amamadakwa.
Yes?
Momentarily, the sounds are swept away.
It is. Is that why we are stopping?
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall. The lieutenant puts his...
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up. There's a red starter switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters.
That should do it. Downstairs, somewhere?
The tank is far from full, but there should... Books and most are popular among...
Someone's made themselves a home.
Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly like reading.
Ooh, see.
It's making a strong comeback. After all,
That one's to...
the little books seem inconsequential next to the big pipe.
Whoever has...
Interesting. Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard. The keys rattle like teeth.
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs with wire. I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
After you. I don't know. Don't worry. I have a gun. I know. It was not easy to acquire.
A strange feeling looking at the water. With a bottle in your hand, always. Perhaps there's someone there, where it is always. Smelling of tutti frutti. Yes, cold and still. But love is warm. Yes, yes, yes. No. We're not starting with that. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez reflect. Islets and posts, like stepping stones. There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Branded name and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butt.
That embrasure, what can you see through it?
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you. Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the springs screech as you lean on the mattress in trepidation. A tingling feeling. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off.
Do you have a line of...
More than that.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Why? We don't go everywhere in a 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure. Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
The lieutenant pauses.
We will make up for it. Here. Where? I have always assumed it's someone local. We should move now.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his unclouded by cataracts. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have. All sorts of little rats have come. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a 3-angong 4.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too.
A Samaran rifle. How did...
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid. You heard me. It's good now.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safre Empire, extinguished in 06.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth.
The time will come to win his trust, comrade. It is not now. You need to take care of the gun first.
I did. And you opened it. How? I should have burned that console down. Reactionary rock and roll music.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate, hip gyrating, mental illness music.
No. Put it down now.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. It's out of bullets.
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
The present to be afraid and cold. Real music. Real Prolet cult. That's La Revacholière, not
marching song. Forget about that for a moment. You need to address that remark first.
the job of a shitlicker. You don't understand anything.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprised. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. They say Triangong 4.46, Sin Yao Commune, for Safre and for all mankind.
What does it say?
That's what the little guys told us. Every day at 4, those men were commandos. They weren't shit on a stick like us. They were small.
On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangong 4.46 millimeter, made in Sinyao.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does. The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him to get a confession in time.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my terminal.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
(51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on... I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back 43 years and 10 months. It's too long. It's not how a human being should live.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer in patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances. The officers go, leaving behind the writing. Still smelling of...
Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. Always. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore. However, it's not an island. What? It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow? Iblis. The black-eyed angel.
Shaitan Ahura, the Darkened One.
How does anyone survive?
Now hold on there.
Supplies, vegetables, collect rainwater. It's the life of a...
How is your health, Mr.
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65.
The RCM can provide medical services.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all.
You also have Druamine.
I have been running out of that stuff. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. I don't even know what. Inferno? No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves. I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for...
There were posters, campaign.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking Kip and others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to at night. I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started...
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? Useless now.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were...
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting.
The propaganda bunker.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the road.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent... Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to...
A spray of blood. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should...
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used...
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
You're an inert lumpen with a gun.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding...
The old man spits into the fire pit. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism. Or...
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for...
Killing people.
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist? I've used it.
Interesting. During or after?
There is no after the war.
So he's continued killing. Oh, go in straight. No, don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
I don't want.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
Oh, yes. That one.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not...
Exhaust him with proof. The scent of blood in the air. But what? Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead.
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long.
I'm ready to die.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toys.
Damn, he saw you. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Imbecile.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on closet. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. And nowhere else. Nowhere in all of... Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Classia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up. You got it. Remember? The boot prints. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are?
Show me the soles.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sensor. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden...
The size fits, but not the sole.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have...
The lieutenant gives you a quick sight. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from... The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silence suddenly. Some strange... You've almost got him. Just the last little push.
You're lost, Dwat. You're lost. Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right?
A drop of blood. That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it.
You're lost, Dwat. You're lost. I ain't going.
Honorable One, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous. Oh, the modesty on this one. You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers. You continue to display such humility. Good. Even among the honorable, only honor comes from deep within you. And to true, you need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors. Most dishonorable are those who have known you brought much shame on your family today. Hear that? Magnesium. That's what the magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels. Yeah, the other things. Long live, yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your... You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only... One stroke? Don't be so modest. He's having one right now. Yes, if you want to live, you just drink, and it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine. Nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone, he's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
Minions of capital. What do you want? Minions of capital. What do you want?
Is what you plan to say before you can get...
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
The old man looks at... You startled him. Maybe it was the silence. He quickly gathers himself. Still, what could he be afraid of?
minions of capital.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild, indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. Is this some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this.
You said you take painkillers.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain.
Are you sure about him being lucid? Maybe he's just affected by an extreme case of socialism. It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Like some kind of decadent rock star. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of... Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
Petty bourgeois law.
A drop of blood in... That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Maybe 4.
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost.
Is what you plan to say.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more. Josef Lilianovich Dras, you are under arrest for the murder of Elise Cortenard. You will...
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrolled...
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must... Do you
But... No, I don't want to. I have...
He's sweating. Beads of pupils are dilated too.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you...
Minions of capital. What do you want?
What strikes you about... Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads. You've seen... Is this some kind of substance damage?
No.
You said...
I take...
Are you It's not a downer.
Like some kind of decadent rock star. No.
Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled. Is what you...
Officer, are we sure? Yes.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your wayfarer... Do you...
But...
No.
He's sweating. Pupils...
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper something completely different. It sounds like a bow. Very...
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this...
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence. It's still there, an unfolding mechanism.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny... You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
See what exactly? A bug?
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. But that means it's really there, spinning slow.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
I have absolutely no idea.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's...
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the insect's limbs. A series...
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the insect turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you. Nothing changes in the cyclical braying motion of the creature's limbs. They are porcelain white on the... Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. It is incredibly light, like the slightest gust of wind should blow it away. But it doesn't. You barely get to take one step The invertebrate reacts with uncanny speed.
Where? Where did it go?
You never had a chance. There was something off the moment you approached it. It was scared of you. Of humans. He shakes his head, in silence, an expression on his face.
No.
However hard you squint, you can't make out anything.
I tried, but it was moving too fast, and I didn't get the ampoule in right. And, damn it, I believe my eyes. It was there. A stick insect of some sort, pretending to be the real. Someone must have known about it, though. Maybe there's some secret to approaching it. I have no idea. I've never heard of a species like that. It appears the insect can walk on water, like a water strider, you know? It's almost as fast. Uncanny. No, it's gone for now, Lieutenant Freighter.
What now?
In some kind of strange...
Our suspect's not looking so good. We should check him over. It looks like it has some kind of nest there.
In the reeds, where the phasmid was hiding.
What is it? What do you want from me?
Something is very wrong with him now.
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, like an addict of some terrible substance. A light shiver passes him.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our...
The trembling mouth.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it...
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off it.
No response.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect a word. It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. Like a drug? His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report.
You will have to be very convincing and very sober to make them believe, sire. He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should...
I lost...
He turns his eyes to the reeds again. Has he...
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid. This site is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it...
Silence. You've gotten all you will out of this poor... Nothing.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up.
The plastic cape flaps. The blacks of his eyes are receding. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't...
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Insulindian Citizens Militia.
Sounds an awful lot like. The skiff is...
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under you, but for the sound of conversation, two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a lake. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought him. Harry, you're bleeding all over the place.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
That's right. And you're bleeding. Bothered by it. Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that. We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstein.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pay.
Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, Prison 57. We've just come...
The scene is making even him feel...
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact...
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to perform.
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself, shit kid? What an interesting moniker.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm still Kinkisulak.
Still caught up in this crossfire, too.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstown, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just...
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in other people I've left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing. For both of you.
Do? It's a Major Crimes Unit. We cleared the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are
The 41st isn't...
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we? Sure. You're not a superstar law official. Talk on the town is your Guillaume Le Million reincarnate. I know this shit. Nothing has changed. The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building, mixed with blood. I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
Yes, I'm Tran Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Tran Heilerstein. Mikhail? Mikhail is my son. No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence. What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. Like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. Help.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete...
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all
interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
And what is that?
That is what I thought, at first. That it was a fantasy. But I've seen him work. It's not.
Lieutenant, I'm sorry. But you've been bewitched by the shit kid. It happens. I know it's hard to accept, but he made it all up. Because he's a psychopath. It's a simple explanation.
Detective Wigmer. He has blacked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked...
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. Those cases were hard on...
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the...
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit?
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No, Harry. Fuck you. You already fucked us. I've already explained this shit to Bryce twice. To Berdyayeva 4 times. I'm your partner. I answer. Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. Yeah. Just stand there. No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? So refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic. and the badge slips out of your hand. You juggle the badge for a second. Ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are gun. Yeah, you don't have that. Maybe you can philosophize your way out of it.
I don't care if you have a new gun. I only care about your old gun. Your official sidearm. You lost it, didn't you? I knew it. I told you you wouldn't have.
This isn't cause for celebration.
I would say it's very bad. Yes. You're drunk like an asshole, Harry. Please, put the stolen firearm away before you kill someone. So you forgot to drink?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
What you've discovered? You let the suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess.
We've read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsuragis. We know.
Duped again. Not for one moment do I believe you quit drinking. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect. The one who shot herself. In the head. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now. Doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That compared to the 7 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Don't make this harder.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides...
You've spent the week with him, on this case. On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not...
See?
1 week.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's... It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a true blue moralist, a man of the center, not prone to political outbursts, which is commendable, but also at odds with his behavior. Other still, he is also a Mazovian socio-economist who believes in liquidating the ruling class. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know, but he is vocal on both of them. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him. And he solved it, near perfectly. In 1 week we have a confession, a murder. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Or a colossal stick insect, 3 meters tall. It's on the island, camouflage as the reeds. It unfolded from them. I did not, unfortunately, get a photo, but I believe it may have been the Insulindian phasmid. I know this sounds fantastic, but I'm a 4 times decorated lieutenant of the RCM. I do not make up encounters.
I don't doubt you, Lieutenant. If you say it was the Insulindian phasmid, then it was the Insulindian phasmid. By God, is it somehow connected?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance.
So it is connected.
We could order a search. I could get people from EPIS on the island, entomologists, doctors. There must be signs of it in the reeds. If we found the Insulindian phasmid, well...
There. You need to make your case now. The floor is all yours. He prepared it well.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins...
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still, good work with the missing person.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a...
Incredible. Were there eggs?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think...
Bowers are built by males of the species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked...
Incredible. It's a toughie that you don't have a photo. This would look very, very flashy in the papers. None of it says vigilante murderers to me.
I tried to, but...
Ouch.
We can still work. Cop discovers new species in there. I know a good guy in La Majesté, but only after the École Supérieure people find it. This cannot be done by French people.
It needs to be white coats and glassware for this fly. We need professionals.
You're doing good here. Quit while you're ahead, or no?
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why? That's not...
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local...
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not...
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM...
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory.
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was...
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Possibly induced. But even without that, these men spent 50 years on the islands in the bay, in solitude. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island. And...
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that. Way more.
Get over yourself. You're not a perfectionist. You're a cop and you did a good job. And none of this can hide the smell of booze.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It will pass. In time.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species. And so I have to.
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
No.
Talks concluded.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. Some of your more old-school wording choice.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. Old.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since... Yes, you taught gym in Coron. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school.
The smell of sweat and glue. Coron is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned her name. Something like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde...
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago?
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, you're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing, I think. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. Incredibly bangable. She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous...
Snow Welkin. Blonde heartbreak?
I've only seen a picture. But it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was.
Look, the sun is about to go...
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees order. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic?
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Us? Well, the bloody murder station, haven't you heard?
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have kept...
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me.
They are damn iconic, though. Torson and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're...
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic, they speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in River Shoal. Faubourg, technically, but...
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will... Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains. Work with Price? I'm flattered.
Would fit him. Am crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if...
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41 to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the RCM. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot, of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?